my dad got sick.
We're 1,000 miles from comfort. We have traveled land and sea. But as long as you are with me, there's no place I'd rather be.
And he had been sick. And when I say that's losing my grandmama was one thing, but I had went to the hospital to see my dad the day he died. And I'm sorry.
No, you good.
On this day, it was different. It was like so unbelievably different. Like the vibe in the room was different at the hospital. I always pay attention to death. I can see it. Even with my grandmother, I could see it. I could feel it. I could smell it. I could taste it. And my dad was laying on the bed and he looked up at me and he was like, hey. He was looking at me. I mean, he wasn't looking at me. He was looking through me. And then he just like peered off and started looking out the window and he started laughing and smiling. I was like, Dad, what you smiling at? And he was like, he said, I was just remembering something when you was little. And I was like, okay. You know, and that's when I started paying attention to him. He looking at something far different than what we see. Like, why you remembering something when I was younger? And I was like, Dad, what are you looking at? You know, because he was just like real glassy eyed, just smiling. Everything had a smile on it. And I was like, I know he making peace. You know, because that past year, my dad had done some things that was just off to me. Right. And when I say off, it was just like little weird stuff, like apologizing for stuff and, you know, making rights, you know, instead of going back and making sure everything was in order. And it was just like real weird. Like, why are we doing this? Right. But that particular Sunday, it was girlfriend day. So for me, it was like me and one of my girlfriends, we went out like on a Sunday once a month. We go out to get something to eat. Crab legs to be exact. And I walked up to my dad and his skin just didn't feel the same. And I kissed him on the forehead and I said, Dad, I'll be back at 8 o'clock. And he said, okay, well, I'll see you at 8. He was like, have a good dinner. So I walked out of the hospital and I called one of my friends and I was like, my dad not going to make it out the hospital. That like sucker punched me. Right. And when I say sucker punched me, it's because one, I am, and when I say I am, I'm the oldest child. So it sucker punched me because it was like my dad had been preparing me for like 3 years. And when he died, when I walked into the hospital, after I came, when I called my girlfriend and told her, you know, my dad's not going to make it at that hospital, I feel it. I went to dinner, and at 8 o'clock, I was getting ready. Matter of fact, it was like 7:45. I was getting in my car. And my mama called me and said, I need for you to get back to the hospital ASAP. Right in the hospital. And I get to his room, and I hear all these beeps. I see all these people. I see him trying to resuscitate my dad and like trying to shock his heart back. That's all I hear. That's all I hear. Even though they sitting there and they like 1, 2, you know, trying to bring him back. All I hear is the flatline. I just looked at my mom. I walked around the corner. I walked in the room and I looked at them and I looked at the doctor. And I was just like, let him go. Just let him go. I was like, this man been on dialysis. You know, he got a defibrillator. He got diabetes. Like, he had his leg amputated. Let him go. Let him go. Let him live. Let him be free. Because right now, bringing him back is just going to be bringing him back to going to a doctor every other day. Going to dialysis every day. Like, what are we bringing him back to? But after that, it was just like, you know, I was like, wait. No, bring him back. Bring him back. He forgot to tell me what I need to do. He forgot to tell me this. He forgot to tell me that. You know, you can't, no. So I didn't really feel that my dad had passed until they told me to write his obituary. Now, when I say I know in branding, I tell everybody, like, I need for you to go and write your autobiography, you know, give me some information about yourself. Now, the first thing I say to them, go write it like it's your obituary. But when I had to sit at that desk and write my dad's obituary, no. Like, you know, and they literally had to put me in a room and everybody had to, like, surround me so I would do it. But it was, like, one of the toughest things. That was when I realized my dad had passed. So, like, right after my dad died, my brother was in a car accident. A month after that, my mom was in a car accident. Well, all of that, it was, like, about a month and a half after my mom's car accident. My son flipped his car. And, you know, all I saw was this mangled car. When I say mangled, it was like everything in my mind was like, my child? Yeah. My child is gone? Like, you know, and it's funny because the police were standing there just looking at, they were like scratching their heads like, how did he make it out of this car? You know, so me as a mom, I'm looking at it and I'm screaming. They were like, he okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? So I ran up to the ambulance and I'm like, just praying like, oh my God, my baby, he probably on a stretcher. I opened it up and my son had adrenaline. And it was just like, Mom, I was in a car accident. And car flipped up. And I'm standing there because I'm like, I was expecting the worst of the worst. And I'm like, whew. Like, I'm not going to the hospital. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. And I was like, okay. Once I got through that, it was like, I left my husband.